Let's have a little chit chat today because I know that this time of year can be a challenge for some, and this year seems especially weird just because of how the last year went. So right now your feeds are probably filled with everyone who's sharing their goals and what is in and out for 2024 and why they think that you maybe didn't hit your goals from last year. And I've noticed a split down the middle about how people are feeling, and that's either really good and excited for the next 12 months and all the opportunities that are going to come your way, or feeling totally down about where you're at right now, and maybe even a little bit like you failed in the last year. Now, I don't want you to feel like that, which is why we're gonna have a chat about this, specifically about why things might not be working in your business right now, even if you have been trying really, really hard. Because that's kind of the main premise to all of this. On reflection over the years, I have noticed that the times when I let my business be easy and the times when I just follow my own intuition of what feels right to me versus following trends, that's when I've seen the most success, the most revenue, the most green lights, the most good vibes, whatever you want to call it. My business has always grown the most when I stop pushing so hard and trying so hard and just let it be easy. And I know that at first that can sound a little bit woo-woo, and we don't want to leave it there. We don't want to oversimplify that. We want it to be actionable. So we're going to go through specific roadblocks and challenges and things that might be holding you back. And these are things that I've seen are holding my clients back and also myself. All with the goal of you understanding what it is that might be getting in your way so that you can overcome it. Because if you are one of the ones that is feeling kind of down over the last 12 months, I want this to be the motivation that you need to go after what it is that you really, really want from your business, because you are totally capable of it. It's often just a matter of getting out of your own way and focusing on the right stuff. And part of getting out of your own way involves the roadblocks that we are about to get into. Hey, if you don't know me, I'm Jill Wise, a conversion copywriter, brand and marketing strategist, and business coach. And through both my Done For You studio and education platform, I've worked with, coached, and taught literally hundreds of entrepreneurs how to make good money online. You can find me on all of the channels with the same handle that I have here on YouTube. It's Jill Wise. And if you like this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Okay, so let's get into the things that are probably holding you back from getting everything that you want in your business. First, and I want to start here because I don't want you to put blame on yourself if you're in this stuck spot, but it's actually often the case that the reason why your business isn't growing and you aren't doing the things that you want to do is because your brain is trying to keep you safe. So you are keeping yourself playing small because that's what's comfortable. It is scary to take risks and it is scary to try new things, and it makes total sense that your brain is like, hey, no thanks, I'm gonna be okay just hanging out here. I see this specifically with my clients all the time. I'll give you a specific example of one client, but the story actually applies to many of my clients. So this person has been holding on to retainers that are keeping her small for months, maybe even a couple years at this point. The reason is because they're safe, they are consistent, they are easy. But those things, even if they feel easy, have actually been holding her back from the growth that she is capable of. This could also come out in the form of self-sabotage or perfectionist tendencies. So if you are sitting there stressing about launching the thing, about the new offer, about sending a proposal, if this is keeping you back from doing the thing, this could just be your brain's way of trying to keep you safe. Because if you never finish it, if you never send it, if you never launch it, then you never failed, right? But that way of thinking is not doing yourself any favors, and we want to stop that as soon as possible. So if this maybe resonates with you and maybe this is something that you're doing, keep that in mind so that when your brain is trying to keep you safe the next time, you can be like, nah, it's okay, I got this, I'm ready for more. The next point that I need to make is digging a little bit into the woo, and that is that the universe will give you what you want. Again, I see this with myself, but also with my clients. If you're not specific about what it is that you want, you might get that thing, just not how you expected it. For example, there have been times in my business journey where I've asked for more space in my calendar and then I end up losing a major client shortly after that. It happens to all of us, and this is why you have to be really careful about what it is that you're asking for. And this kind of leads to my next point, which is that you need to let go to allow for space. So the first time in my business where I lost a major client, it was a single email and half of my revenue and just one client all in one go. And I was devastated at the time, but it had to happen that way. That client, while I had worked with them for a couple of years at this point, they were holding me back. The rates were terrible. They were taking up a ton of headspace that I would rather have been spending on something else. But I was keeping myself safe and playing small because it was comfortable, it was easy. I could whip up that work in no time. But no time still has these side effects that trickle into other areas of your business, and it's a distraction from what your larger goals are. So honestly, now when something like this happens, I've reframed it for myself and I can think of, okay, what is the good that's gonna come of this? If this one thing ended for me, that was creating space for something else. And now I can be excited for what that new thing is gonna be. The next thing that is holding your business back, even if you are trying really, really hard to grow, is that you are working on shit that you don't want to. I've found myself in this spot so many times. Do I keep pushing to make something work just because I feel like it should work or this is what I should be doing, even if I know deep down that it doesn't align? Or do I let it go, scrap it all, and go after what I really want? This often ties into a challenge of not showing up authentically, which is another thing that could be holding you back. But basically, instead of doing what you want and showing up how you want in a way that aligns with you and your life and your personality as a personal brand or a freelancer, growing your business online, you're getting caught up in shoulds and trends and what it means to be professional and what other people are doing instead of doing what you want. There was a period of time in my business where I was way too shy and I lacked the confidence in order to truly be myself. I was showing up very vanilla, very much the same. This was true not only in the brand voice that I was using, it was a professionalized version of me, but also the imagery and the branding. I like to call this era baby business Jill because instead of truly trying to stand out as different and as myself and showing up as myself, I was just trying to fit in. I was trying to be likable. And when I stopped doing that and started showing up as myself, things felt a lot easier and my business started growing a lot faster. And if it weren't clear by now, all of the points that I've made so far lead into the fact that you are probably making it harder on yourself than it needs to be. And that's why things aren't growing. We are conditioned to not just let shit be easy. We feel like we need to work hard. We need to have earned it. But I can tell you that you don't need to grind yourself into the ground in order to be deserving of the success that you have and want and deserve. I'm proof that you don't even need to work 8 hours a day, Monday to Friday. You can actually work however much you want and however much you can dedicate to your business. And the more strategic and efficient and productive you can be, the easier it can be and the fewer hours that you can work. Another thing that a lot of newer freelancers need to remember is that you can make money doing things that you love. I see this hesitation in search traffic, honestly, of people asking like, what is the most profitable niche to be in? So instead of choosing to do something because they genuinely like it or are interested in it, they're willing to put themselves in a box in an attempt to make a lot of money. And I can tell you, speaking from experience, that you do not need to niche in the traditional sense, and you don't need to make yourself do things or write about things or create things that you don't really want to do or aren't interested in. I actually built my entire studio off of not choosing a single niche. I have an entire video about the ways that you can niche instead, so I won't get too far into this, but basically you can like build it around yourself and what your interests are and what your expertise is and what it is that you want to be doing. So you become the niche. You become this super special mix of your skills and your personality and your results. And that's what clients are after. Instead of you thinking, I need to do this one thing all the time, forever, and it doesn't matter if I like it or not. I can tell you that that will get old quick. And honestly, if you're not having fun, then what's the point of doing it anyways? And making all of this happen can be easy if you are smart about the decisions that you make and if you build the systems and you work effectively. My biggest months in business have been ones where I've worked the least. Specifically in the last year, the one where I had the highest revenue, I was living the most. I traveled across the country, I spent time with family, I did a ton of things with friends. I felt like I wasn't really working much at all, but things were just clicking. So cheers to channeling more of that in the next year, and don't let yourself get caught up in thinking that you need to grind and do things that you don't want to do in order to be successful. If you have not heard me say this yet, you will probably notice that I say it often. I am convinced that personal development and entrepreneurship are closely tied, at least if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. Especially if you are a personal brand, the two are so closely intertwined. And I can give you some specific examples here. So if you know what your weaknesses are as a person, then you will be able to strategically plan around those in your business. And if you know what your strengths are, then you'll be able to lean into those. This also relates back to the need to show up authentically. If you don't really know who you are, or if you feel weird or lack the confidence around who you are, then it's gonna be really hard for you to show up authentically online. Instead of just doing you, you're gonna show up with some kind of mask on, trying to fit in, and again, will get yourself caught up in this trap where your business isn't gonna grow how you want it to. So I am a firm believer that if you work on your personal growth, then your business will see growth as well. Maybe not immediately in the numbers because you are going to be directing your attention to yourself instead of your business, but I know that it'll come and it'll make things easier in the long run. Because if you are not self-aware, then you are going to feel stuck longer. Like everything else that I've shared here, this is something that I've worked through for myself, but I also see my clients working through it. Specifically those in the mastermind, journaling is a really big part of what it is that we do together and how I encourage them to find answers within themselves. And through them developing that practice, I've been able to see them grow personally and start to uncover these answers so that they have these tools that they can use long after our time together is done. And it all comes from that self-awareness. If you know where and how to look for those answers because you are self-aware, then you will know what to do next time you're met with a challenge. Because the whole idea of it not feeling hard doesn't mean that business is just gonna be easy, plain and simple. You will be met with challenges, but you'll be able to overcome them a lot faster than you have in the past. Okay, another thing that is holding you back if business feels really hard right now, and that is the fact that maybe you aren't resting, because diminishing returns are real. And if you are on the brink of burnout all the time, then you're never gonna see the progress that you want. You're gonna start to feel resentful, you're gonna be less productive, you're gonna be focusing on the wrong things, and you might even start to attach your worth to your business, which is not a good thing. And if you are tired, then you are probably gonna be making business decisions from an emotional place, which while we want to be tapped into that like intuitive side of ourselves with our business, we don't want to make everything based on emotions. It should be logical as well and based on data. Just overall, if you're constantly in survival mode, you're not going to be able to tap into your flow, and this is going to hold you back and business is going to feel really hard. So you need to intentionally take time to fill yourself up first and recharge. Maybe don't think of it as rest, because when I think of rest, I think of napping, and I'm just not that kind of person, but definitely taking care of yourself first in order to show up as your best for yourself and for your clients in your business. Okay, wrapping up here because I know that this is getting a little bit long. I just want to leave you with 3 crucial points for you to remember. First is that you are in control. You get to ask for and go after the change that you want to see. And when you start taking responsibility for that and stop wasting your time on all of the shit that doesn't matter, then your business will grow and it will feel a lot easier. Next is that you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do just because somebody told you to do it. Only you truly know what you need. This is why the best coaches know when you need a coach or a consultant, or they'll ask you. So for example, if you need me to put on my consultant hat, then I'm going to give you a recommended plan that will probably work because it is based on my personal and professional experience and insight and knowledge and the results that I've seen before. If you need me to be a coach that day, then I will provide you with the tools that you need to find the answer in yourself. And the last thing is to stop waiting for the perfect moment to go after what it is that you want. Of course, Monday, the new year, January, all of this makes this feel like the perfect fresh start, especially because this year the new year started on a Monday. I don't know what the perfectionists among us could like any more than that, but you don't need a Monday or a new year to have your fresh start. So if you start now, or if you don't want to start now, or if you start now and you feel yourself sliding later, remember that it doesn't need to be all or nothing. And you can start again whenever it is that you are ready. Okay, I will leave you with that. If you like this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, I would love to see them in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching.